Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse.
I'm Keegan Lastra, and I didn't interrupt you like a gentleman this week.
You seem to forget the 37 other episodes we had where people didn't get interrupted. So
I'm just saying, you could have ran it by me last week, and I would have been like, "Oh, cool, that would have been fun." But
don't act like we didn't plan that to perfection, son. Like we weren't spending 25 minutes okay, I'll come in right here. You ready?
Okay.
The amount of anxiety that you had already doing the intro, right? But then
I hate doing
anticipating the fact that I was gonna come in and talk over you. You were like, welcome back. Are you coming in yet? Too funny. If you guys are liking the podcast, be sure to subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs so we can start monetizing. All that money will go straight back into the podcast. So be sure to hit that red button and the bell.
Please.
He goes, please. Any sort of revenue we make off it's going straight into merch. We're getting updated backgrounds and just general coolness, we'll call it.
Yeah.
It'll make us look better and less ugly.
I'm gonna get a new PC with it, but please, subscribe. We can use that money.
No, none of that. I'll have to keep you in check. Well, yeah, we don't have a jam-packed episode like we did last time where we couldn't fit it in. So we went with a 2-hour and 15-minute episode. But
yeah, last week was it was a hefty one. It was exhausting.
Yeah, afterwards, you were like, I'm sweating. Get me out of here.
I was. Because it wasn't just jam-packed, it was jam-packed full of things we're emotional to. So therefore it was deep talks. It was
passionate stuff. So yeah, I mean, we figured that we should probably try to talk about work stuff because first of all, we're in IT. It's been a little bit, and last week was just straight games with a little bit of tech. So we got some work stuff that we want to chat about, but we were talking and we were like, dude, we've been remote for 4 or 5 months now. There isn't a lot of updates.
Well, it was funny because you were we should. I was saying all these different topic ideas, and you're like, yeah, but we should probably bring it back to our original, core theme. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And then there was just a lull of 5 minutes, and we're like, yeah, there's not much to talk about really, because we've already beaten work from home a ton on this podcast because it was such a new, fresh thing that everyone was adapting to, and now it's 4 months later, and now we're okay, it's just a part of everything. It is what it is. That is my everyday is wake up, coffee, feed the cat, sit on my office. Done.
Sit on the office.
Sit on it. Sit on it.
On the roof, outside the house, on the office.
I think actually pretty dope if I could sit on the roof.
Well, I mean, all you need is a ladder. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Oh, problem solved, son. All right, I'll see you outside a little bit. Let's get on the roof. Record from there.
I'll post on our Instagram just me just chilling on the roof. Work from home days, and it's my laptop in my lap.
Yeah, we need to make that happen. But yeah, I agree. I'm to the point where I was counting the weeks at first, just subliminally. Okay, this is week 8 of being remote because I didn't anticipate it being for the rest of the year or whatever. So at some point I just kind of was this is it now. This is the reality we're in. So I stopped counting and I didn't even realize. But then when I look back, it's well, shit, I've been remote for about 5 months now. And it's I'm so used to it that I was if I'm going to be remote for the rest of 2020, because working in downtown Chicago and taking the L, even as things roll back, we're not going to be jumping straight back in. So I'm going to be remote for the rest of this year at least. So I'm I started this new job and I've only been in the office for 2 months. So it's like when I go back into the office, I'm gonna be like, where am I? What do I do here? And like it's just gonna feel so different. And
Well,
like,
I haven't met some of my coworkers. Like, I
yeah,
still haven't met some of them. Because I got remotely onboarded. I
true.
did throw like a barbecue and met some, and I went to like a lunch where outdoor seating was and met a few others. But
Man,
like,
you threw down on that grill, huh?
yeah, you know me. Typical suburban dad, just like barbecuing on the weekends.
Oh yeah.
But I'm already 40. Don't worry about it.
Dude, like that's the theme. You're already 40 years old. You will
Yeah.
forever be 20 years older than your current age.
Woof. My 40s are gonna be rough.
That's your equation. Like when you go to like put your age in a forum or like a box in something, it's just like age plus 20. Like that's the formula. That's what gets imported.
Yeah, but and that's another thing is just working from home has like sped up time. So it's
Hmm.
funny you brought that up because like I felt like summer's already got done.
Dude,
Like went over in just like a flash. It was just like it was May and now it is July.
oh,
You're
you
like,
mean spring?
oh yeah, spring was pretty
Because
much
like
not existent. Yeah, sorry,
yeah,
not
summer
summer.
just started, but like to be fair, like everything is blended, like you're saying. Like somebody hit me today with, "Hey, today's the start of Q3," and I said, "Huh? Like what?" Like when somebody says Q3, I'm thinking like fall months, not
Yeah,
middle of summer. I still can't get around the fact that July 1st is the start of Q3, even though that makes sense. Like you start the
yeah.
third quarter at the halfway point.
Well, and it's also it was weird because like normally I get like sort of hyped for my birthday. Your birthday is coming up too, and like it didn't even occur to me that it was that close. Like
Yeah,
when people are like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'm like, I guess that's in a couple weeks. So I don't.
same dude.
It's like, oh shit, July's already here, and yeah, we're already halfway through the year. It's just wild. And I think working from home, like it's scary how that works, how much your days kind of blend in. And I think that
Yeah.
is what I miss about the office is there's a clean cut, even though it's the same hours, I'm doing the same thing. There's a clean cut of the day. But now my days just kind of in and out. Like I'm like I could take a quick break and like just sit on my couch. It just feels weird. Or and like having like responsibilities throughout the day where it's like, oh, I'll do the dishes and like laundry during the day where I didn't have to do that in the office. That's one thing I missed. Like not having the excuse of being home. It's like,
Yeah.
oh no, I can't do the laundry today. I'll be in the office.
I yeah, like I guess that's kind of where I'm a little different because I'll still have somewhat of a clean cut. Like, all right, like I've been working for 8 hours, like it's time to cut off. But like I don't mind as much, working late or staying late because you don't have to worry. Like, okay, I'm gonna be here till like 6 or 7, then have an hour commute home, and then
Yeah.
now I hate everything. Like
Yeah.
it's like, all right, like I'll just crank out this extra half hour I need to, and I don't have to worry about anything. And then like by the same token, that allows like flexibility that like, okay, I do have chores to do at home or an errand I need to run. I could just say like I'm stepping out for a second and then like come back in 30 minutes and like it's like nothing happened. And then like if I need to, I work that extra 30 minutes later. So I do like that flexibility. And at first I didn't because it did kind of seem like when do you stop working sort of thing. But like I think that like what needed to happen is the entire company needed to get in that rhythm because there would be
Yeah.
people pinging you late. Like, all right, I'm like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to do this right now. But now we've kind of like reached that rhythm when it's like, okay, like this is an actual emergency. So yeah, like let's handle this. But the other time it's like, all right, like, yeah, that'll wait till tomorrow. Like, we're in no
Yeah.
rush.
And luckily my team is really good about like work from everywhere and like being understanding of flexibility and like there isn't that many meetings in general. That's mostly just stand-ups.
Hmm.
So working remote's not a challenge. It's just a challenge for me mentally because I think I'm just realizing I can't do it like permanently. Like if I were like looking for a job and it said, "Oh, it's a full-time remote. Like you will be there is no office." I would not pursue that job.
Yeah.
But if it was like 3 days, 2 days, where you can like float how you wanted to do schedule it, that's awesome. But I definitely am craving the office. I'm craving, seeing my coworkers, even though we do the video feeds. I mean, like just being in the office is just different. So I'm really looking forward to it, but it looks like I might not be able I might not be able to go to the office till like September, maybe October. They
Mhm.
kind of said indefinitely. It was supposed to be in July, but now it's getting kind of pushed back. Um, but luckily, us as a team, we're so prepared for remote work that we're not even worried about it. Like at this point, we're not we've stopped asking basically, and
That's fair.
we're just kind of working through it.
Yeah, I mean, you make a good point about like the whole applying for a remote position. Like, there's something about that that's frightening to me because it's like I would be remotely onboarded and I wouldn't have the connection to my coworkers and I would have to build that remotely, which is challenging.
Yeah,
So like I think the reason why I'm comfortable being remote now is because I had that 2 months to meet everybody in the office and know how they work and
yeah,
understand them. Even though 2 months isn't a long time, it was enough to get acclimated to my teammates. So then like we're remote now and it's just like okay, like I can expect like this of this person instead of being like it's almost like when you like psychoanalyze people's texts and stuff. It's like, oh,
Oh,
like does he really mean that? Like, do I
he said
really need
K
to do this like
period.
right now? Is he being passive aggressive with me? Or like should she want me to do this? Like I don't understand. Like, but now that I know how the people work, when someone comes at me blunt and I know that person, it's like, oh, that's just how they are. Like
Yeah,
I shouldn't get pissed about it, kind of deal. So
that's fair. Because there comes with the stereotype of working IT where people are like, "Oh, you could just work remotely, huh? Like you could seek out those jobs." And it's like it's kind of fun to fantasize about
mhm.
before COVID would be like the run and be like, "Oh, I'll just like try to find a completely remote job. I could live anywhere. I could live whatever time zone I wanted to live in."
Yeah.
And then even now that I'm doing this, I would realize like how much of a strain that would put on me. Just because me as a social person and the way I like to work, I would know how much harder it would be. Doesn't mean I can't do it, and doesn't mean I'm not currently doing it. It's just it is definitely harder. So then I have to put forth more energy and more effort into learning how to adapt because I was within a comfortable range with my field and being in the office. Now
Mhm.
that I'm working from home, I'm back to learning a new way of doing my work. Doesn't mean I won't eventually get like really good at it. It just means that it's not my comfort level and it's not what I seek out. Like I don't seek
Yeah.
out to be in my house for 8 hours a day. Like, and that's why I've been like starting to like take my lunches more seriously. Like, because if you don't when you're working remote, like sometimes you just won't eat lunch. Like it'll be like 4 o'clock out of nowhere, and you're like, well, shit, there goes my day. So like I've been like making sure like I either have something planned where even if I don't want to eat or something, I sit outside for 30 minutes or something, like read a book or
Yeah.
something.
You get your break
Because
in.
yeah, because if you don't, it is really easy to just like what you said, where when does the work end? Because especially if you work in an agile suite, you might you might just be hammering out tickets and
Just one
you
more ticket.
yeah, you might drink a Bang energy drink and you might be just like feeling it, and then all of a sudden it's 5 p.m. and
Dude, I don't
uh
mess with those energy drinks. Those are dangerous.
yeah.
I still can't believe you drank them.
I don't really drink Bang energy drinks anymore, but one of my new coworkers was like, "Hey, have you tried Red Bull Peach?" And I was like, "They make flavored Red Bulls? Hold up." I was like, "Hold up."
Gibbs, have you tried Rebel Peach?
Has he? No?
He
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 doesn't like
says
the
he
peach?
says he says not.
He
Like
just does the
no, like he's tried it, but he's like it ain't it.
Oh, I thought
It
this
ain't it
meant I
shit.
don't wanna talk to you guys. Okay.
Oh well, he doesn't. He doesn't like talking, but like he's not into the peach. So
I tried it and it's dangerous, so I don't wanna I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I definitely am tempted to get more, but, uh, what was I going with that? Basically, it's just I don't know. It's just a whole new aspect for me to get used to. And I think after 4 or 5 months now that I've been doing it, I have a rhythm. I'm not the hugest fan of it just because it takes so much energy out of my day. But I
so
mean,
like it is a little bit exhausting for you.
it is just because like I don't have like social interactions in the office help me like either like if I don't have those, I'll just consistently work and then like I said, miss my lunch breaks or something. But like in the office, like some of your coworkers will help you give you social cues of like when to take like a normal like 10-minute break, maybe like
Hmm.
go walk to the kiosk and get a drink or like little things here and there, or just have like a random like it's harder to do over Slack. Like, yeah, you can I am somebody like, hey, how's your weekend? But like it's just not the same. Like it's like telling somebody who's introverted to go to a party or something. Not saying that they can't
Yeah.
go to it, can't enjoy themselves, but like after a few hours, they're not gonna want to be at that party. They want to go back home because they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
So it's the same way with me because I'm an extrovert. It's just like I don't have people. Like I have a computer screen.
That's funny because like yeah, you're definitely extroverted. Like you're a social butterfly, and I'm not an introvert, but I'm not openly an extrovert. I always say I'm an antisocial extrovert. So some people call the hybrid like an omnivert. So like I definitely like don't really mind not speaking to the people, but like in the event that I am in the office, like I'm social, like I'm chatty, like when I have time to, not constantly.
Yeah.
But uh like I have a friend that I talk to her about games and stuff. So like she'll come over and we'll just chat about things, and we were pumped about The Last of Us too. But like she's been playing Red Dead and she was like, I need to finish that before I move on to The Last of Us 2. And I'm like, wow, you have self-control. Like you finish a game before you move on. Meanwhile, I'm out here,
Me.
all right, let me start 8 games. And then the new one comes, all right, yeah, add that to the queue. And then you somehow find it. But I've been messaging her like, all right, you really need to play it just so I can like
She still hasn't played it.
no, like she's gonna get it like soon once
Oh,
she's
okay.
almost beaten it. But I'm just like, you gotta like I need someone to chat about this with. So
Yeah, our
I
friend
don't know.
Claudio's already busted me about how I haven't played Red Dead Redemption yet, and he has a valid reason here. He's like, "Yo, it's free with Game Pass, and I know you have Game Pass. Like, why haven't you downloaded it and played
Oh,
it?"
that is true. It's free for you.
But at the same time,
I don't know how well that Xbox is gonna run it.
and also, I don't even really care. Like the games, I'm past it at this point.
Well, all right, here. This is where I'm at. First of all, let me disclaimer. I didn't mean that as a dig towards Xbox. So all Xbox fanboys, I might have just screwed up. Keegan has like the launch day original Xbox, so that thing would be humming playing Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's what I meant.
Hey, you know what? This Xbox has done a solid like. It is launch day. Like it was the weekend of launch that I
Yeah.
got this game, and I got Titanfall with it, and man, that game sucked. I just remember how Xbox One when it first came out, like all you could play was NBA 2K. Like there was no other games that you really wanted to play on it. I guess you could play
Yeah.
Rise. That was one that came out, like the Roman fighting game. Either way.
But then here's where I'm going before I lose my train of thought. You might think you don't care about this game, but like I think that once you give it a shot, like you're gonna have not a change of heart, but like your opinion's gonna change. You might not be like, oh, like this is like everything I said was wrong, but like I think that for free you should at least try it out. Just like boot up the little Xbox. Let me hear the doo doo, and then just start downloading. Like that's all we need. Yeah. So maybe don't download it while we're
yeah,
on the
it's gonna
Skype
start
call,
humming.
or the Discord call. But
I don't know. I honestly might not even I might not even download it because honestly, I have a set amount of games in my queue that I'm going to stick to that I will play in order. And granted, I'll play like strategy games.
that's just
Hold,
BS, dude.
hold on.
That's just 100%.
So far, I have managed to hold to that where I play Doom every day before I decide to play anything else. I can't play any of my strategy games or like the multiplayer games like Call of Duty or something before I put at least an hour into Doom.
Okay, I was
And
gonna ask what's the time put in?
at
Because
least
like
at least put in
that game, sometimes you can't put in much more than an hour because of how upset you get. So,
yeah, I almost broke my mouse the other day.
whoa, oh my god.
It was one of those times where I like just beat oh shoot, what's the enemy type? Basically, two of those guys that have like the shields and they're like hovering,
Mm-hmm. I
and
hate those
basically
things.
and then the in game help gives you the wrong advice. Like after you told me the right way to kill those dudes, I was like, why wouldn't they suggest it this way? Either
Well,
way,
I shouldn't say they gave you the wrong advice, but they didn't give you the most optimal advice.
yeah,
Like they tell you to use the energy gun on the Doom Hunter to get rid of their shield and then do it. But I was like, dude, nah, you just want to take that super shotgun at their base, they blow up, the shield also goes away, and then you take that rocket launcher, and they're done. Because the rocket launcher fires that fast. That's not a machine gun. It's like
also, so this will be my last thing with Doom that I think is interesting. But basically, what happened was I was facing the Marauder, which I was like really nervous about because I heard it was like the toughest enemy in Doom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I died 3 times with it, and on the 3rd time I almost killed him. He was staggered, but one of the annoying zombies, whatever was behind me, killed me. So I was so furious. I like slammed my mouse. I wasn't thinking, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And that was it. It's still good. It's still good, but once I figured out how to kill him too, I'm like, "Oh, I'm a dumbass."
Dude, like there had been countless amounts of time where I died in that game to shit I could not see, because obviously with it being first person, you don't really know what's in your behind, but like there's also no indicator if like an enemy's there. And on the hardest difficulty, you don't really, even if there was, you die in like such a quick amount of time that like maybe one swipe would get me. So like that just became a regular thing. The first couple times I was getting pissed, but it was just like, dude, I just gotta like, I need to have spatial awareness. Like I literally have to always have my back free. Either it's to the wall or I just killed what was there. Like, And then there's even times where I died to the auto flip, like it would change to the rocket launcher because it was my next weapon in queue because I ran out of ammo, and me still smashing the button to fire at it, it just like blew me up. I lost it. I literally had to go.
Yeah.
Got up, left the room. It was bad.
But right now I'm actually I think I'm over the halfway mark right now with Doom. So once I finish that, I'll move on to Star Wars. But other than that, I mean, I guess we can kind of move on to our next section of like what we've been playing and like.
I mean,
yeah,
you have without.
Yeah, I'm already there. I'm already there. So I've been playing that, and I've been playing a lot of strategy games. Like,
wait, did you start Star Wars yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even installed it because I'm so limited on space thanks to Call of Duty. I'm gonna uninstall Doom when I finish that, and then I'll reinstall Star Wars.
two 20 gig updates in a week.
Yeah.
Are you feeling different?
Oof. But what I've been playing is so Steam Summer Sale's going on. So while working from home, doesn't help that I can just boot up my PC and like stare at all the deals that are going on right now. But I limited myself to only getting Terraria, FTL, and Star Wars. So I only spent like $30. It wasn't too bad. But I've been actually playing a shit ton of FTL, like, which stands for faster than. Wait, what does it stand?
Faster than light.
Faster than light. Yeah, it's a fun roguelike game. I don't know if we have gameplay for it, but basically, it's just like you're in a spaceship and you're fighting countless enemies.
This isn't a game that's fun to watch, so
no, it's not.
I didn't pull up stuff.
It's pretty nerdy, but I already have 6 hours into it. So
it's fun though. Like I've seen people play it. I played like a round of it, but like I don't own it personally. But what was it, like $2.50? $2.50.
$2.50. And then I've been learning how much of a trash strategy player I am when I play Paradox games. So I've been doing that.
What happened to the whole like strategy game players are superior? Like,
oh, we are
I'm
superior.
just better at kind games in general.
We are superior, but I'm just trash at Paradox games. Like they kick your ass.
So
like,
then just get good. It's simple.
Yeah, getting good at Paradox games takes like over 500 hours.
Sounds like you're playing the wrong game. How many hours have you put into it?
Which one? Like
the one
Crusader Kings, I have 50. Europa, I have 30. Hearts of Iron, I have 30.
So like you basically are telling me that you will never get good at those video games if it takes 500 hours.
No, but they're a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to Crusader Kings 3. It's coming out.
Dang.
They're just really hard grand strategy games that like there's no really good way of winning the game. It's just like you pick a mission that you kind of want to accomplish as a country or in World War II and see if you can like accomplish your goals. But like if you make a mistake or if you make a wrong decision or if you lose track of something, it will like hurt you in the game. It like there is no you have to play almost a perfect game. Like it's really hard to keep track of everything. But just playing that, and then I've been playing on my Switch a little bit more lately.
Oh yeah, what you like catching up on things? But you bought some new purchases. What you doing? Playing Animal Crossing?
No,
Oh man,
I know. I heard
Nice.
Animal Crossing has that update, right? That's coming
Yeah,
out.
you can swim now.
No.
July 3rd. You can. I saw a little GIF. It was like the little character. She's sprinting, and all of a sudden she does like a flip into the water, and it goes. I was like, yeah. But no, I probably won't be playing because I got other stuff to do. So.
I've been playing surprisingly Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Why? Didn't you just say you weren't going to play it? Did you get
What?
the DLC?
So I found out that like some of the DLC was released as free.
Oh,
But
it's
I
free?
didn't buy everything.
Wait, okay, hold on. Like the stuff that people paid for is now free?
No, I found out there's some things that I could get, like characters I didn't think I could get. I'd have to pay for
Oh,
DLC.
okay. I was about to be like, I bet some people are upset if they
Uh,
paid $15 or well, I think it's 30 for the season pass and now it's just like free.
no, like I unlocked Cyclops last night and a couple others. I can't remember. But I don't know. I just was like, maybe I should futz around with that because I was like all hyped off of Avengers when we talked about it. So I'm like, what could I like fill my time with? Like laying in bed. Like I don't know. Like if I want to play like Fire Emblem, I almost want to be like in a different spot than just like laying in bed, like casually playing it because I might fall asleep. So I figured if I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
play,
that game puts me to sleep when I play it late in the night. Cause like I mean like when you're not getting the story part or like what's it called? Battling. I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out. Like the whole like social element and maintenance late game especially is pretty tedious because like I've done everything. So like I'd be like, yeah, so like they're talking about support low and I'm
yeah,
just
I
like
know, right?
out cold. So
Yeah, so I was just playing that and like just doing like the rifts, just like the challenges, just to level up the heroes basically and get new skins. And I don't know, I'm kind of re-liking it again, and it's tiding me over to Avengers, I think, at least in
I
time
mean it
being.
wasn't a horrible game. It wasn't great for modern day like standards, you know. So like I had fun with it for the 13 or 14 hours I played it for, but like I was kind of upset with myself that I paid $60 for it. So
Yeah, but that's what I've been mostly playing. I knew you were probably gonna think it's ugly than playing a little bit of Ultimate Alliance 3 after
I
I kind
mean,
of
you could have said uglier things.
true.
Like
Like
I don't.
downloaded Dota 2 or something. I don't know.
I mean, like I don't know what I would have said, dude. Like I would have been like, but like you play League though. Like why would you do that?
Oh, I hate Dota. Like
I didn't realize that you excuse me. I didn't realize that you hated it. But like
I
if you
tried
would
it
have
in
said
college.
that to me, I would have been like shocked.
Yeah, I experimented in college a little bit, dabbled in Dota, and hated it. It was awful. League
Yeah.
is way scarier. Anyways, haven't played that in a hot minute though. Maybe I should boot that up tonight.
What is a hot minute? Like a couple weeks? You play that game
Yeah,
pretty regularly.
probably 2 weeks. 2 weeks or
That's
so.
not a hot minute, dude. A hot minute is like longer than that. I don't know.
Okay, so it was a cold minute. It was a cold half. 30 seconds.
Sure.
What have you been
uh,
playing though? You're trashing me over here. What have you been playing?
uh, to be honest, I haven't played a lot since The Last of Us Poo. Um,
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I started back up playing a little bit of Fire Emblem just because I said I was gonna try to beat it before The Last of Us 2 and I didn't. So now I've started to back up and I'm like 3 chapters from the end. So I think that'll be the next game I beat. I definitely should be able to beat it before Ghost of Tsushima comes out. But
That
other than
game.
that, you keep wanting to buy a PlayStation for it, and
I'm so close.
I
I mean, all it takes is one of my
it would
coworkers
be
having a PS4 and I'm in.
if Spider-Man didn't make you buy it. Like I don't know why this one would. like, all right, here's where I'm at. Like, I know that you won't because it literally would make 0 sense to, and you would be kind of stupid of you to buy a PlayStation this close to the next generation when
Oh,
there's no sales on the current one right now.
I'm just hoping that one of my coworkers, I haven't found out yet, has a PS4 and doesn't use it. And then I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna buy this game. Can I borrow your PS4 for like 2 to 3 weeks?
I don't know. I think that one would take you a little longer because it's like a beefy game, and we know that both of our attention spans are pretty minimal.
Trash. They're awful.
It was like a mission for me to complete The Last of Us 2 in like a straight, like, don't play anything else. And that was like near 30. And this game is open-ended, open world kind of thing. So like,
yeah,
you know how those games are. You just get lost in them. So
although let me say one thing about the PS4. The reason why I didn't get for Spider-Man is because I had you in Kansas City and I borrowed your PS4. And I will say, when you borrow someone's console to play a game, that game is number one priority. Like anytime I'm like about to play something for a night, because
you did get a little bit distracted playing God of War. I'd like come on Discord and you're playing like League or some other trash, and I'm like, Keegan, like, it wasn't that I needed the console back. I was just like, what, are you not entertained? Like, get after it, son. And you're like, nah, League though. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. Like, you wouldn't buy one then, but I just think that it would be just extremely ugly if you bought a PlayStation in the next, or excuse me, a PlayStation 4 in the next 5 months. Which also another thing that like I didn't think about is that with Cyberpunk being delayed to November 19th, that week, very high chance that the PlayStation 5 releases that week. So like, they did say that it's going to be on launch, or I'm pretty sure on launch, but it's gonna run on the PS5. But like, now that I had planned to get that game on PC, if that game comes out the week the PS5 comes out, and I'm getting that game on PC, am I just about to buy a $500 box that's gonna sit there for a little bit, and then like just wait until I'm done with Cyberpunk to start playing it? I'm almost considering getting the game on the PS5 just to play it on there, even though I know that it's gonna run better on my PC, especially because I'm just gonna have upgraded.
Yeah, and like it'd be kind of ugly for me because the whole reason I upgraded mine was to run this game specifically. That and my last PC was Potato. But
yeah,
I don't know. That's an interesting point. That like it being so close, it's like, well, yeah, you should because you want to play the new thing. But yeah, maybe that's why they delayed again. Maybe they were like, okay, we're on track for our new release date that they set last in the spring. But then all of a sudden, Sony's like, hey, by the way, we're coming out this soon. Are you going to be ready for our console? And maybe they're just like, we have to push it back another couple weeks to make sure that this runs on PS5.
I don't know. I don't know if that would be the reason why, but if it is, like, I guess that would be smart for the console gamers. But for me on PC, like, and also still having like an admiration for the Sony console, like, it's gonna be challenging for me to like find the balance. Because Cyberpunk is gonna last a while too, but yeah,
a while. It's gonna last like. I really hope this game keeps my attention span. Like, I hope that like all games before it just sucked, and this one's like, yo, you thought you had a bad attention span, but this game's gonna reel you in, like Skyrim again. Like, because when Skyrim came out, that was like all I played for like months.
Yeah. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I haven't been playing anything else yet. I've been debating whether I want to. Well, I guess with Ghost of Tsushima coming out, I'm gonna like wait on starting a new game. But honestly, like, I've been in this weird like Last of Us 2 hangover where like I'm like, it's like, do you start drinking again, play the game again because you're like, that's what's familiar right now? Or like, do I just like wean myself from the game and then move on?
Feel better.
Yeah, because like
Do you drink Pedialyte, aka not play video games for a bit, or do you, take one for the team and you chug a beer real quick and which play video games again, just like get right back into it?
yeah, I don't know, because like I somebody said online that like they hadn't really heard a game like this in a while get talked about for so long, like and so much with everybody being so polarized. And I mean, when he said that, I was like, I don't know about the length because it's only been like 2 weeks, but like as far as just like people are still diving deep and like not really fighting, but like just discussing what they liked and didn't like, and that spurred so many other different things. And I'm like, yeah, to be fair, like them talking about it and me listening, I'm starting to have like I'm generating other opinions and stuff. Like my opinion hasn't changed, but I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's actually a good point. And there's been like, okay, like maybe I want to play it again. And I'm like, I don't think I want to do that right now. And it's like if I did, they would have New Game Plus, which like added challenge. And the platinum trophy in this game is a little bit easier than the first games because it doesn't have a multiplayer tied element to it, which is the main reason I didn't go for it in the first one because I'd have to put so many hours in. But I was like, maybe if I go into the game full well knowing that like the story is disappointing in the way that I had hoped for, I won't be expecting something that I'm not going to get and I might enjoy it more. So like I'm not going to try to crank it out before it goes to Tsushima, but like I wouldn't be surprised if like sometime in the lull before the fall I might boot it back up and we'll see.
I think that comment of like length of time people have talked about it or gone deep dives on it, it's because this is the biggest release during this quarantine. Like if any other game got released like a week after it, or like when Ghost of I can't pronounce the second part of that name
Just
comes out, Ghost of Sushi comes out.
sushi. Yeah, all right, let's go with that.
When that comes out, uh I guarantee the talks of The Last of Us Part 2 are dwindled, like completely curved. Because if you look at a lot of the game critics and people that are generating a lot of the game news talks, they're all talking about how they're reviewing Ghost of Sushi coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like the people that are still deep diving, people on the forums, people on Reddit. That's
No,
great.
no, 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 dude. I'm seeing full like Business Insider, ESPN, like other companies that aren't like game focused are still releasing like full thoughts, reviews on the game. Like
And
I don't
ESPN,
know if
especially
there's
because they have nothing else to report on.
okay, sure, but like I've seen so many full on articles that are still coming out, whether it's like they've already reviewed it and they're like, I saw one that was just like, this game has become a minefield on how polarizing it is. You can't talk about the game without like to someone or online without like igniting something. And like, yeah, we've had games like that, but like, why are we still publishing full on articles like that about it when it's like we kind of have discussed it? But I guess it's sort of like, when like a book or a movie were to release and then like people they reread, they rewatch, and they get more the second time. And since this game is 30 hours, or 20 if you do it quickly, like it takes a while to replay. And then people are getting more out of it the second time and then drafting new, analysis and opinions. So like they're coming back to it and like almost like revisiting it like on the second week,
Yeah.
and like these review companies have already had copies for a while, so like maybe this is their second playthrough now. So I find it weird because now that's what's adding to this Last of Us hangover, as I called it, where like I keep seeing stuff about the game, so it's still kind of tempting, like, oh, maybe I do dive back in, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be worth it right now.
Yeah, I guess I could see that. And I don't know. Like I think whether we had COVID or not, I think this would probably still have happened, but I definitely think it has a factor to it because there is, when it comes to games news, we had so much happen. And even through all that, so much, Last of Us is still coming out to being something people are still talking about. But once we get some more releases come out and we get to more information on Cyberpunk as they do their episodic things, a lot of those places I would assume I, what I would be surprised if it comes to August and people
Hmm.
are still like gnawing on the bone of Last of Us 2 and they're still like masterpiece trash like if that's still going on, I'm surprised. But like time being, yeah, it's gonna be a month or so after release that people are gonna be, because I can't remember the last time a video game was that controversial or had something like that.
Yeah.
um
I
Maybe
mean, like the Mass Effect 3 ending jumps to
I was
mind.
about to say, the Mass Effect series would probably be the last time I was personally like
You
upset.
were a part of it, right? So like
Yeah,
you had reason to talk about it. But like I think that this isn't like console war level where it's like never ending, but it's kind of like you could go online and just like
you could find a
drop
fight.
drop in a forum, right? Just The Last of Us 2 was, and then just like good, bad, mediocre. You could say The Last of Us 2, nothing. And then just people are just gonna fire their shots all over the place at it. So like it's just a weird thing. And I think it's interesting too, because Neil Druckmann, his goal was to make a very polarizing game that people loved or hated. Um, and then like it sucked that it got leaked and people already were fighting about it before it happens. Like he said that sucked for him, but like to him, like he achieved his goal. So it's like, all right, hey man, like if that was your goal, you did it. Like I'm somewhere in this middle ground where I kind of like some parts and didn't like other parts. But like I'm not the dude that's running online being like, I hated it or like it was so good and like ignoring all the bad and all that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think to compare it to like movies, I think for comic nerds, our equivalent to that was posting in forums or something, release the Snyder cut. Like that statement in of itself would either trigger people to be like, yes, hell yes, do it, or like, nah, like DC sucks, and like it would just be a whole another rabbit hole. But like a lot, I think after Justice League, a lot of us were hurt, and we were like, what the fuck? So, um, yeah, can't forget that hype train. But yeah,
Yeah, so I guess while we're on the train of ugly game news, there's been some new stuff that's been coming out. Like I saw an article on Madden and I got kind of excited because I don't play it, but I was like, oh, like they're gonna make some big changes because the article was like, oh, like massive changes coming to Madden. And all it was they changed the truck stick, like pressing up on the right stick to Y, and then now hurdle is the the up stick. Like they swapped two buttons, and I was like, that is not a massive change. Like I don't care how many years it's been like that for. That is a subtle change that might have like big repercussions. But don't come at me like massive changes for Madden when people have been like wanting for years for them to like do something new. So it's not just like a roster update.
it was like when they got rid of sprint and they made it auto sprint. People still held down R. Like you're not gonna get rid of like
You're gonna give rid of years of muscle memory.
and you sent that to me at so late, like it was like 11:30 or like midnight or something. I was like laying in bed and I saw that pop up, and you didn't put like an emoji with it. So like you just sent the article, so I didn't I didn't know if it was legitimate or not. So I was like, oh cool, and I like clicked it, and I was like, wow. Like and here's the thing: is I'm such a Madden fan. I actually read through the fucking paragraphs. That dude, whoever wrote that article, props to you, dude. You probably went through college with so much ease of papers because you added 5 paragraphs of fluff for a single sentence of fact, which was we're switching from wide to up stick.
Yeah,
I
he made like a solid article on a, like a one sentence change, like what would have been announced in a tweet. So
or a patch update. But here's the thing. That's not where Madden ends though, because Madden kept getting uglier. They had another huge thing where they were like gonna go through their franchise mode.
mhm.
And whenever that gets brought up, at least for me as a Madden fan, I get really interested because that's the mode I give a shit about. And there's some people that are like Madden Ultimate Team, the like card based game that's really popular with a lot of people.
Mhm.
But I don't really give a shit about that. Like I want to do the franchise mode because that's what I play with my friends. It's what every Madden's had since like the beginning of time.
Yeah, yeah.
So for like the past 4 to 5 Maddens, people wanted drastic changes to the franchise mode, or like at least something fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't deliver. They change just a little bit. And they focus on like face of the franchise or the MUT game mode. And so I opened this article.
You know, people call that MUT, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't want to say MUT and like not explain the abbreviation. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah, MUT challenges or
I
whatever.
guess it was like me in the last episode. I said ARM, but it's literally it is just ARM. Like I heard other people say it, and I'm like, okay, like yeah, okay. I'm stupid.
So I opened the article and it's like major franchise changes incoming. And halfway through the article, I realized they're talking about face of the franchise. They're not talking about franchise mode.
What is that?
Face of the franchise is like, you remember in FIFA how you have like the story mode of it?
Oh yeah.
Face of the franchise is like Madden's version of that. You create a character and now instead of like, I think in the last one it was you chose a certain team and you were like the college championship, so you actually plays a college team. It was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like you do decisions and you have these unskippable scenes that are terrible, that they are uncomfortable. Same thing with 2K. I don't know why all these sports games are like, oh, we could add story elements, but like
Dude,
shitty
2K's
graphics.
like animations are still like
Cool.
like I saw their story mode, and I
It's
forgot that
trash.
it's not made by EA. So like when even though 2K is in the name, but like
Yeah,
I always like, oh, that's just the year, right? But no. So like I was like, oh, it's gonna be similar to the FIFA story because that one was like, you know,
that was
clunky, but
decent.
it didn't look horrible. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, like this 2K stuff looks like a 2005 video game, dude. Like what?
Sports games stop. Just like focus on your game. Like,
Sweat, dude. That's all that's important.
yeah, more sweat. So you basically now in the new one, their changes, even the changes they said in there weren't crazy. It was like now you start in high school instead of college. You're like, cool. And then like then I like get through the other article and it's like, okay, now we're talking about the franchise mode. And it's like new X Factor stuff, which is like not abilities, but it's like when you get like above 90 or something like that, your characters will become X Factors. So like when they get hot, or like equivalent to like 2K,
Mm-hmm.
they have like some sort of thing that they're better at or so forth. There's like new X Factors, and then they kind of went through like some different ways of updating the players, and then like that's about it. And it's like it could have been patch notes. Like it could have been that they just patched Madden 20. Basically, is what they're saying. They're like new roster with the graphics of Madden 21. That's what franchise mode is. Like,
I mean, eventually they got to move towards like they've said this about Call of Duty as well, and I don't know when or if they'll do this, but like Madden needs to become a service game where you you pay like a lesser yearly fee to just get the roster updates and updated like whatever skins because or like you know team uniforms. Like people just want to play a game that's like consistent and good, and then if you make any drastic changes you can release that maybe as like what Destiny would do. They release like their massive fall update and it completely changes the game, but like most of it's free to people, but if you want the extra content then you got to pay for that. Like I don't understand how people are still like, I don't know if it is difficult to just like not buy the game, you know, because it's like it's what everybody went to. But if they stopped getting sales on it, then most likely they would start having to move towards.
and that's the thing is they're not
That.
going to stop getting sales because even though like me as a Madden person, I'm upset that they haven't made any major changes to connected franchise. And you know, sometimes I even wonder like what exactly I want out of it, and it's just you want to have more detail. You want to be able to manipulate more and have like an element inside the game, but like they just continually just like the one game mode that they were kind of most popular for, they are ignoring just because
Yeah.
they have these newer game modes, Face of the Franchise and Mutt, that are doing kind of well, but at the same time, I don't want to like. I'm like, I can't be the only Madden fan that doesn't give a shit about those
Oh,
game
my
modes.
dad, like he plays it, but like that wasn't why he played Madden, you know, in the beginning. So like he always was like playing online, and I don't know if he played franchise as much anymore, but like I think he just started playing Mutt because it was like something different, you know. But
Yeah,
I definitely like the free to play model is probably out of the question because it's like EA, and I don't know, like they did that with Apex Legends, but like that model is proven to work, and like other models of like having that yearly subscription, like either with WoW or like Destiny, like if that's more MMO style, but they could find something that works, and I bet you any money that would go over so well with the consumers, because they would be like, okay, like I don't have to pay $60 for a patch anymore, like now it's like 25, and I get like actual like content that seems to be worth that price tag, instead of like, okay, I spent $60, played it for a couple months and never touched it again.
Yeah, because if here's the thing is I like playing sports games, and if EA was like, hey, you pay a yearly, well, I mean they had a yearly subscription where you got games and stuff, but it was expensive, right?
Mhm.
The thing is like if I didn't have to drop, $120 just to get Madden, FIFA, and 2K in the fall, that I mean, or 180, I would find it. If there's a better way to doing that than paying $60 for each game, and then like that's the only way you can have the latest football, latest soccer, and latest NBA game. Definitely be on board. But like the time that I would actually purchase the other, like let's say I buy Madden because I always buy it every year.
Mhm.
By the time I want to play FIFA or like get 2K when it's on sale, like $20-ish, like the following year, I don't want to buy it because I know there's gonna be a new one coming out in like a few months. And then I'm forever in this limbo of like which game do I want? Do I want to do the Holy Trinity this year where I buy all 3 games and just be stupid? No, probably not. And then also get rid of these stupid, like, I get the people that play the card based games where you get trading cards almost within the game, why they want to buy the $100 package. But if you're gonna have something like that, then like try to incorporate other ways that you like what you're saying, where you can pay monthly or something, because you already have microtransactions with like 2K having the coins, or you could pay in Madden to get more cards and stuff like that. It's just there has to be a better way, and I don't know. They have a system that always works, which sucks because they have such a loyal fan base. But to getting the business to take that risk is going to take a lot.
Yeah, and like you brought up the Premiere prescription subscription, and I kind of forgot about that, and that's like $99 a year for access to like a lot of their games, and also some games on launch, and I'm pretty sure Madden and other sports games come into that, but like that essentially forces you to like have access to the rest of their suite, and it's like
Yeah,
they definitely should have a tier that is like the sports tier, so it's like you get access for maybe $50 a year to get FIFA and
and
Madden, and then like do they have it? They have NBA Live.
NBA Live, but nobody
Nobody,
plays that
yeah.
shit.
So like they wouldn't have 2K in that, but like they could do something, and I think they don't have to get rid of the Premier option, because that's the all-inclusive EA package for those EA diehards. I don't know who you are, but what's wrong with you?
Hey, hit subscribe first before you leave. Um,
I mean, like, yeah, but like, I don't know if like an EA diehard is gonna really.
there's just like 2 kids playing Anthem hard as shit right now. They're like loving it.
Yeah, I don't know if we're appealing to those people anyway, because like
Yeah, we shit on everything. So they're not here. They're not here. Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna bash on them, but like still, I haven't met a person yet to this day that is like, yeah, I support EA. Like, haven't found that person.
Microtransactions, real smart.
So yeah, I think that they could redeem themselves a little bit with that, but we'll we'll have to see what they do, because they don't have the best track record.
And the sad part is, I know I'll buy Madden regardless.
See,
It's
you're
just
also like, yeah, I shouldn't say you're the problem, but like that ain't helping.
what you want to
Like,
go
bro, I'm
strike?
telling you, like, somebody needs to set up like, all right, this next story I'm bringing up is kind of also tying into this. This is a part of the ugly game news, but it might be where we're going. If people reacted so negatively in a mass wave, like I guess EA people have done this before about like the loot boxes or the progression in like Battlefront 2 and stuff got changed. If
Battlefront
they
One.
No, I think well, yeah, but 2 was worse because like people couldn't even get like Darth Vader because it was like you basically had to pay for him.
Yeah.
But if they reacted that way to Madden and then just like didn't buy it and their sales went way down, I do think they would try to like start slowly acclimating to something else. Because like for instance, Crysis Remastered is coming out at some point. I haven't kept up on this game because I didn't play the Crysis. I never got around to playing these games. I also didn't have a PC to game on in 2007 and never went back to play it. I wanted Crysis 2 when it came out on the console, or I think Crysis 2 did. And then Crysis 3 also looked really cool, but I never bought it because I didn't play the first two. But they're remastering the first one, and they got such a negative review, or not review, but like it leaked actually. Like
Ah, Keegan.
yeah, this turns out to be a Keegan leak. So like this game got leaked by some dude on YouTube, and it's just the trailer for the remastered game, and people were reacting to it so negatively, and I guess like probably online and social media and doing all that stuff, that they actually just like stopped. They just said we're going to not release it now. Like we're delaying it. We want it to be better. They released a whole statement about it, and I was just like, woof. Like
Y'all hurt their feelings.
you're actually joking right now. So I don't know.
They
Gibbs
hurt.
kind of screwed up there. He had some sound playing in the
Yeah.
microphone.
Damn it.
Well,
Been
he'll
2
figure it out. He'll get in the
episodes.
swing.
Okay. Well, what I gotta say is, with Madden, I know there's people that already have it pre-ordered and shit, but like, the thing is, there's nowhere else to go for an NFL game. There
Mhm.
used to be ESPN. ESPN had a game way back in the day.
So
But
they're banking on coronavirus and then the stay-at-home orders and just people being inside to like. Well, I
I'm
guess
just saying,
stay-at-home orders, they won't hopefully be a thing at that point, but they very well could go backwards. So.
but the thing is like, well, I'm not saying like the games themselves to watch. I'm talking like video games. ESPN used to have an NFL video game.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood then.
Yeah. No, you're good. But that was
ESPN had a video game.
I'm pretty sure, or like 2K or Madden 2K or something like that was, I think.
I
Either way.
remember them having the NCAA game, football game, and then like they didn't use the players' likenesses; they just used
Yeah, it
numbers.
was ESPN was the one that developed the NFL like competitor to Madden,
Oh, okay.
and like that would have competition. But now I don't know why they're not allowed to make it, but like EA really has a monopoly on the NFL. Like there is no other like NFL video game to go to. So like
Yeah.
be in a real tough spot if you're like, I'm not buying it, and then like they're like, I kind of want to buy it. Like I'll make a tweet about it.
There's no alternative, but like
At least with 2K, like NBA 2K, you could like go to NBA Live or vice versa.
But like here's where I'm at. Like for people that only play sports games, I can imagine that would be tough, right? Like, but like I guess you could also just keep playing Madden 20. Like if you're really itching hard for Madden playing and you want change to happen, like just don't get it. Like I've abstained from playing certain Call of Duties because I'm like, all right, that game looks like garbage. Like I'm just gonna sit this year out.
It's
Now,
not the thing with that argument though is like, let's say that use case is that it's a person that's a diehard sports fan. The problem is that they've been playing Madden 20 and NBA 2K20 or FIFA 20 since last September consistently every day, or like
you don't, and you're still in the same boat where you're like, I'm itching.
What I'm saying is like, you're saying like, well, why don't you just keep playing Madden 20? Is because like to them, they would be seeing that Madden 21's out. They've been playing Madden 20 for an entire year. By then, they're probably sick of playing Madden 20, and they want the new roster. They want the what have you. So like that's why it's doomed, because you can't. There's no going, like, I'm gonna buy it no matter what, and then they know that. So that's why they can have these bullshit updates saying that they're doing massive changes when it's 2 buttons are swapped.
And it's hard for me to relate because I don't play Madden, but like, I don't know. Like, for instance, like I think that the Call of Duty argument is kind of valid because like, all right, you're gonna play with the same guns, right? It's the same ass game. with like minor mechanical differences between each year, but then they're gonna update the maps and the guns, and that's it. Same game. Madden's getting new characters, new players, and updated rosters, some new skins, like in uniforms. Maybe they update stadiums, and that's it. It's like you could very easily just continue playing the previous game if you are that into just like the concept of Madden. Like, I don't understand why if people are so upset with the state of the game. Like, for instance, I'm not upset with like the state of Call of Duties. I think actually right now they're making good changes with Warzone. But if you are that upset with like, okay, I pay $60 every year for a patch to the roster, like it really shouldn't be that difficult. Just be like, all right, well then I don't want to spend that much money on the roster. I'm just gonna keep playing with the outdated stuff. And in this scenario with coronavirus and there not being sports, what roster are they updating? Okay, Cam Newton's on the Patriots now? Is that like does that matter that much when those players aren't even playing right now?
It's a part of like it's part of comparing where you're at within like the actual sports world and staying up to date with what you can visualize at home, and having the fantasy of being able to manipulate those players, progress certain players you think should be better than what they are at the certain point, and having those new rookies come in that you're excited to see play in the upcoming season, and moving them around how you want your favorite team to be set up. So those new rosters do matter because you want to see how the experts within the Madden team is scoring the new rookies, how they're either degrading current players because of how they performed last season, or how they're upgrading current players, so you can draft better or change how you would normally draft. And there are those like little tweaks because, like, let's say Call of Duty. So you're comparing it back and forth. So like they make updates to their weapons and stuff, right? And like certain guns are like either on Warzone, like they just nerfed the Growl,
Mm-hmm.
and so like
It's not
people are
nerfed,
like,
by the way.
what?
Like I've heard, like yeah, it's nerfed, air quotes, but like that shit's still busted.
Yeah. But it's like if those updates, those specific rates and stuff, you can't change anymore, and you're set. But you know the next version update that you couldn't get to has like these crazy stats for certain guns, and you'd be interested to see how that would go. Like the fire rate's crazy on this one versus what you're playing with now, and it's just it's when you can see it ahead of you and you're playing on an older version that you've been playing for an entire year. It's gonna eventually be tough not to like want to
Oh,
go.
I'm not saying it's not tempting, but here's where I'm at. Warzone is fun. I like that game. It's not going anywhere when the next Call of Duty comes out, right? If that Call of Duty comes out and is garbage, is $60 for a bunch of nothing, I'm not going to buy it. I'll just keep playing the old game. So like,
Yeah, but they continue to update that because it's a free.
okay, let's say they didn't update it and it was the same state as right now. That game is in a good enough spot to me where I would just continue playing it. And I like the concept of Call of Duty and the mechanics enough to keep playing it. So like, I guess yes, it is hard for me to relate to playing a sports game, but like that's also kind of what baffles me, because it's like if the patch is what's gonna keep you playing it, is the game really that fun? Like if you can't just play it because it's fun, like conceptually, it doesn't really sound like it's worth buying every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's all good points. I can't really argue with it, you know?
And I'm not trying to like bash on you. I just like, I think it's just interesting how like I hear every single year without fail, oh, $60 patch. Oh, I don't want to buy it. Everybody still buys it. Like, bro, just we need to organize something where like you guys don't buy the game for a year and we like get EA to like change something. Maybe either like lower the price, go for subscription base, or like give you a tier in the premiere where it's like, okay, you get all the games for like $50 a year. So now you get like more for your money. Not just like, okay, I paid $60 to just see updated stuff in the same game. And then now they change Y in the upstick. Like, I just think it's funny. Now, not to say that like I don't fall into similar patterns with other stuff because like, yeah, when people did say like, oh, Call of Duty, it's the same old crap every year. I bought some and ended up then being disappointed. But then I like took a look at myself and was like, all right, like Infinite Warfare coming out kind of looks like butt. All right. I kept playing Black Ops 3 because I loved that one. I liked the way it felt. I liked the mechanics. I didn't mind the guns. Um, and then yeah, people started to trickle out of it, but then like I took a year or two off, and then now I came back. So I don't know. I just think that like these sports games players need to put their money where their mouth is and not give the money to EA. Like just don't buy the game for a year. Like you can do it. Play the old game that you have for a bit.
Yeah, but then okay. Here's my last point, and then we can move on from fucking Madden. Another factor is and I'm sure other people who play Madden have a group of friends that we play with every year. And getting like, let's say this year I was like sending the group chat, hey everyone, let's not buy Madden 21 and let's just stick with Madden 20. It's not gonna
Sounds
happen.
like you're sticking around the wrong friends then. No, just kidding. You gotta like I said, it's gonna be challenging, but you gotta like everybody needs to band together and like, okay, it's time. Like we need change in the Madden community or the FIFA community. Like we
Honestly,
need to figure it out.
for EA is if they just brought back NCAA games. I think everyone would eat that shit up right now. But they can't.
Well,
I mean, college kids.
that's just gonna feed the fire even more. So
yeah, no. But moving on from that,
you already took the Animal Crossing thing from me. I was a part of the ugly news, but only ugly in your instance because I was like, "Did you catch that new Animal Crossing update?" And then you're gonna be like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't playing that." So, the next topic is technology related.
all right,
Look at that.
get off Madden for a bit.
We did talk about Madden for a lot longer than I anticipated, but I do think it's funny. But yeah, so California, like apparently there was a law passed like in late 2019 that would go into effect in the first of 2020 for the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, and or Protection Act, excuse me. And like basically what this allows for a consumer to do, where did it go? I don't want to misquote this.
Come on, Gibbs, pull it up.
No, this is me. Gibbs is all right here. This is me. Okay. California residents have the right to access any personal data that a company collects about them. They also have the right to request that the data be deleted. They can demand to know how their data is being used, who it's being shared with or sold to, and request that companies refrain from sharing it with third parties. Now, there's a lot more to it, but like I'm not diving deep into the law, the lingo, the fine print. I'm not a lawyer. That stuff ain't interesting to me, but like this is a cool start, you know? But like it's only in California right now. But what I'm saying about it now, because it's July 1st, not January 1st, is that they delayed enforcing it due to the coronavirus and just the whole mess of things, that like July 1st is now the first day that they are enforcing it. So like companies can face fines anywhere from like $100 to $750 per like incident of the consumer. So like like big companies that might not be following this right now, that adds up to be big fines. So
I think it's cool, like as a thought, but I think there's going to be a lot of red tape around it. I think this is almost equivalent to when they did the Freedom of Information Act. And sure, you can request a lot of documentation through that.
mm-hmm.
We had to do that in college one time just to see how long it would take. And man, does it take a while. I think it's but at the same time,
it's
a lot. Like I can tell that this. It's one of those times where you remember when like Mark Zuckerberg went to Congress and you realize, oh wow, our senators don't know how the internet works.
That was pretty funny, not gonna lie.
But It worries me a little bit, and I had the same problem in college as well. And I've told you this many times. If you want to see where your data is going and you want to see what data they have, one, look at what the hell you're posting and what you're filling out online. B, you can read your privacy agreement. No company's stopping somebody from reading that. So if you really want to see where your data is going, you don't need a law to tell you. You can find out. And then if you're uncomfortable with it, stop using the platform. Like you could literally just uninstall and stop using it. Um, the thing in the thing that people need to understand, and I'm not advocating for what like Facebook does. Let's just use them as the pinnacle because that's what every congressman does, or congresswoman as well. Um, when they sell their data, they're selling a market tier to advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like saying Keegan Lassard, blah 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 blah. It's what do you want from us? Because we already have all the data, and we'll market specifically to that. So if I don't know, if I'm like a cell phone company, I want somebody who's 20 to 25, male, blah blah blah, this area. That's what Facebook is supposedly selling to them. And I know that there's other cases where people say that some companies got more data, and I haven't read up on that, but at least from what their advertising campaign is supposed to do is sell, okay, I have a male who's 25 or whatever, and this ad campaign wants that, so I'm going to show it up on your feed. And
Mm-hmm.
that is your data's been sold purely as a target, like how somebody like would do like a phone screen.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like the how they're utilizing your data. Your data doesn't leave Facebook, and it shouldn't leave uh, Facebook's servers. And that's where I think the misconception is. People think that my profile is being sent to an ad campaign and they hit confirm and then they send their ad to you. No, that's not how that works. Um, so when you say that, well, now you can get your data deleted from their servers, I kind of think I call bullshit a little bit. Just because I'm thinking of how hard it will be to request, first of all that information, even though the
True.
privacy terms are literally there for you on what you've agreed to. So the companies are covered their back. And so all the red tape that you'll have to jump through just to get them to say, yes, we've received your request. We'll get back to you in probably like 7 to 21 business days.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be quick.
um then you'll get your probably data, and then you'll probably submit like, okay, well, I want it deleted, and they'll be like, okay, well, uninstall the app, stop using our services. But you can find out all that information on your own through the privacy terms, and if you're uncomfortable with what's going on, just stop using it. I've said this multiple times, and I think I'm as surprising as it is, I'm kind of siding with companies that are social media platforms. They can't play the fence. They're like, look, this is how we make money. You guys use our services, and we're not doing anything outside of our bounds of a privacy agreement. So legally, they're okay. So I hope that this just opens people's minds to be more cognizant of that and understand it better. And if this is the baby step it takes for people to feel more comfortable requesting that information from like Facebook or other major internet companies, then great. But my assumption is a year later, we'll get some statistics from this CCPA law, and we'll see actually how many end users requested it. Because I'm going to say it's going to be shockingly low,
Yeah.
because I think people care a lot about this issue, but they don't want to do anything about it. They want their life to go on normally, and they want to post that stupid Facebook, copy this into your profile. The deadline's next week. Don't use any of my data bullshit that a lot of boomers do on their Facebook profiles. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
They'll like be like this big long essay, be like, you don't have right to my data. The deadline, hurry up, folks. The deadline is blah 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 for Facebook to not use your photos and blah blah blah. It's a scam that makes people think that if they post something into their wall, that they make some sort of agreement with Facebook that they can't use their data. Anyways, it's scary how many people don't understand that once you agree to that privacy agreement, your data is whatever you give them is theirs. It doesn't make sense why you think in your head that your private information is secure if you give it away to a profile online.
Yeah.
Like,
I always think it's funny talking about this stuff because you get real passionate because like yeah, the general public seems to be pretty stupid and like ignorant about this kind of stuff. So like you always like, all right, here's the facts. But like I don't know, like yeah, the biggest questions that we had were like how do you request to be deleted and like how long is it gonna take? And what are the implications once it has been deleted? Because like once things are on the internet, they're really never deleted. They're not gone. So like with you posting things, like you are just deleting it from Facebook servers. It's like you can't really tell what happened to it in the meantime. Like
It's just
not even from them, because like we're talking about the data being sold and all
yeah,
that.
it's
But
it's just silly to think that like a Facebook giant, like out of a billion users, that like 10 requested that something gets deleted, and it's on Facebook's job to like sort through and find out where all their data went first of
mhm.
all, which that's a nightmare, I'm sure. And then like, okay, what confirmation are they going to get that their data was actually deleted?
They're gonna give them direct access to their server. So like it's like they write the SQL code to delete, and you could only delete it if you know how to write SQL.
Oh my god. It's
And
just
then
like,
they don't care about SQL injection and all that.
because here's the thing is like, okay, by saying you want your data deleted, you want to get rid of your Facebook account, right? And I'm like, how many people are actually going to do that? Like, how many people actually say they want to stop using Facebook and actually do? Like, I've said it for the longest time that I don't use my Facebook for anything, but it's like
Hold
tied to
on though. I can't resist. How many people say they're gonna stop playing Madden and never do? All right, moving on.
Gibbs. Why did Gibbs laugh at that? Like,
Dude,
of everything that's happened on this podcast, it's the one thing he laughed at.
I got
Okay.
Gibbs to chuckle, dude. I got you, Gibbs. One thing that I also think will be interesting is that like, all right, so we keep mentioning Facebook because it's like the one that went to court for it. Now, there's like everybody's got like Gmail, so you're using Google Maps, Apple has their privacy policy, and all the little tech companies down the line. If these are California-based companies, right? And they're subjective to the CCPA. I'm not sure if like this now affects like if someone outside of California requests this or if it's just a consumer in California because it says California Consumer Protection Act. So
I'm assuming they'd have to be like in California.
yeah. So again, California thinking that they're just like separate from the US. They always got like the fine print, like California residents, and then something. Or like this product contains things known to the state of California to cause cancer. But if you live in Arkansas, you're good.
It's over my head.
But so like if you got all of these different companies collecting your data, like and you said it's gonna like be interesting to see how many people request. If they have to request it for each company, like individually, which they will, like I don't really think this is gonna come of anything. Like people are going to be too lazy to do this. And like you're gonna
No.
only the tinfoil hat wearing dudes are gonna be the ones that are like, all right, it's the first of the month, time to request my data to be deleted from every company I work. Like it's gonna become a monthly thing or something.
The people that want it or people that would actually utilize it probably don't use that much. Like, they probably have
True.
a Facebook account. And
True.
I don't know. And it's also, in my mind, and this is gonna sound real cynical, but I'm thinking it's just like a quick win on like their Congress. Like, they're like, we passed real progressive reform, and then that way
Yeah.
the next time they go on the campaign trail, they're like, we fought for you as consumers to get this data, and we care about your privacy. But sign up for our petition and give us your birthday, your zip code, and your last Facebook. But but also, I don't know. I think it's definitely a quick win. I had another point I was trying to get to, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I don't think it's a resort to that much change. And what if Facebook was just like, from now on we're banning all Californian users. We do not accept anybody from California. And like that's like the quick solution that all these companies are like, okay, then if you're a California resident, you can't use Instagram. Like, sorry.
Yeah, that'd be kind of funny. I don't know. It's definitely interesting, and we'll see if it like goes to other states or like see, I don't know if this would pass on the state level or if like there would be some sort of federal law eventually that would happen. But like in the article reference, it was like a lot of countries in the EU already like have benefits like this. So like it's just one of those things where like America's just screwing up again. So I don't know. Again, we don't know if it's just for the peace of mind for the consumers or if it's like actually like something that benefits them.
And I want to know, I wonder if anybody has actually ever sent Facebook or anybody an email asking for this information.
Oh, probably. Like not like the average person, but I bet you there are probably some people of like older generations that would do that kind of thing.
No, I'm
Because
saying like I'm wondering if like they make it sound like this is a brand new request. I wonder if anybody's ever been like, I want to, can you help me pinpoint in your privacy terms where like, I wonder if there's ever been like a forum or a guide that Facebook or somebody's given doing a better job of breaking down how their data spreads or anything like that. But anyways,
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Like
yeah.
somebody's probably reached out. I don't think it's a regular thing, but yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Be careful with your data, and like we've had a whole privacy episode before, and like nothing really is private anymore if you put it on the internet. So like you just got to be like, if you put it out there, like you just expect it to be permanent. Like don't I wouldn't anticipate it could be deleted, because like for instance, when you delete something on Facebook on their servers, it just goes like deleted, yes. So it might not be deleted to or them, but like other people can't see it.
Yeah, because you can't even delete your old account. Like I made one when I wasn't supposed to in high school. Like I wasn't supposed to be on social media, and so like I made one, and I was like, I got in trouble for it, so I deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
I can still log into that account.
Like
It's
you can
still there.
reactivate it.
Yeah,
I
they
thought they
don't.
added a way to like actually delete, so where like you couldn't come back onto it.
I don't know. I
I mean,
haven't
I've
been
never
on,
tried, to be honest. Like
but
I still have my
that
Facebook.
account's there with real. I mean, real embarrassing 8th grade photos, and I mean it's deleted. Like you can't get to it by searching my account comes up when you search my name, but like it's just like when you have an understanding of how hard it is to manage that data and how much data they truly have, this is kind of like if I was a Facebook executive, I'd be like, this is bullshit. Like it's if we like, let's say starting on the first day, if it's today and they received like 1.2 million requests for data, it would take forever for them to pinpoint everything and find for each specific person.
Yeah, it would be very difficult.
It'd
So
be a
like,
nightmare.
we'll
It's like read your privacy agreement, dude. Like
we'll have to see how it plays out.
and if you don't want Facebook to know that you're a, male, whatever age, and you live in a certain state, then don't use Facebook. Like,
I'm sure we'll see a couple of things play out over the next couple weeks of like companies failing to meet this enforcement deadline. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I am interested to see what goes on. I see Gibbs over there furiously just like deleting everything. It's not gonna work, Gibbs. We don't live in California.
Yeah.
Man. Well, that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I think we'll wrap it up here before I start bashing on Madden people again.
Or EA people. You just bashed everyone today.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta throw some digs in there somewhere.
Digs for the Gibbs. All right.
So if you guys are liking the podcast, please be sure to subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs. The faster we get there, the better things we can create, because we can start making money. Help us get paid. All that money will actually go straight back into the podcast too.
Yeah,
So
it's just gonna go towards merch, getting that to you guys as well. And
yeah, if you want like our ugly faces on your shirt, you should start subscribing.
Yeah, please. And feel free to give us feedback. We really need as much as we can, so we keep improving. And we're hoping to get more video game videos to you guys soon. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah, I apologize for that Halo 2 video, man. Like I don't know, maybe I said Gibbs would get on it, but I gotta like show him the ropes and things, and it's taken a while because that Last of Us 2, I just cranked
Yeah.
that out last week and I needed a breather. So that'll come to you soon. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.